Hello and welcome to New Mexico Rising. My name is Dan. You know, each and every week we bring you things from across the country to talk about right here in your neighborhood. And on this week's show, we got this.
Share a wine tasting together, a food and wine pairing.
Let your kids build their own bowl.
Check out Red Rocks Amphitheater. It is a gorgeous place.
But it deprived me of the ability to find joy in any activity.
All of that and more right here on New Mexico Rising. Are you looking to level up your summer plans? How about rooftop cocktails, mountain views, world-class festivals, and outdoor adventures, pretty much all in one place? Denver is bringing serious energy to the 2025 travel scene, and it might just be the perfect spot for that one summer trip. So joining us from the Mile High City is travel trends experts and proud Denver native Tomeka Jones. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we got to start off with the vibe. What makes Denver such a unique and exciting place to visit this summer? And it's also quick to get there from Albuquerque.
I mean, look at the vibe. Look at the backdrop here. I mean, and you mentioned patio. Well, I'm on a patio right now. I'm actually on top of the restaurant at L5. There are plenty of patio action here in the Denver area. But speaking of festivals and events and a lot of happenings in the Mile High City this summer, we're going to start off kicking it off with the Outside Festival. That's taking place actually in May. And separate from the Outside Festival, you have 16th Street Celebration. That area has been newly renovated, so they're going to bring out all the good things to celebrate this renovation of 16th Street. Now, when we move over to Juneteenth Arts Festival, let me say that Juneteenth Music Festival, that is. It's my favorite. I should know the name because it's literally one of my favorite events. I grew up attending the Juneteenth Festival, and it's back June 15th this year. And a few weeks later is Denver Pride, 2-day event. All these events are just open to everyone. Bring your mom, your grandma, the dogs, the kids, just to enjoy all these festivals. Now, if you're coming in July and you are an art lover, well, there will be more than 260 artists from around the world showcasing their art. So you can dabble into some art, some festivals, and that's happening 4th of July weekend. But if you're like, look, Tomeka, I can't get there until August, don't worry. Denver's Food and Wine Festival is taking place then too. So there's so much to choose from.
And let's just say someone's never been to Denver. What are a few outdoor adventures you suggest that they should probably try first?
Well, one of the first things I would highly recommend, it's so beautiful days here in Denver, especially in the summertime. So hop on a bike, explore the town by bike. There are bike lanes, bike trails. But one of my favorite places to visit, especially if you're going to be a first-time visitor, check out Red Rocks Amphitheater. It is a gorgeous place that's perfect for fitness lovers. You can hike up the Red Rocks and you can enjoy yoga on the rocks. They also have films that they're offering this summer, and you can catch a concert or two. Sting will be there, as well as Leon Bridges actually in May. And in June, you can check out Sheryl Crow.
And I've heard the food and drink scene is pretty much blowing up. How does Denver's culinary culture add to pretty much the whole experience?
Yes, so we're talking about not one, not two, but 27 Michelin-recognized restaurants here in the Mile High City, and also some James Beard award-winning chefs. Food, great, good. And also, again, we mentioned the patio scene already, and you can see there's great skyline views to enjoy a cocktail and some food. And the farm-to-table ingredients, right here from Colorado. There are also some new restaurant concepts that are opening every month. I mean, your stomach will be happy. Food lovers will be happy. This is a place to be this summer for sure.
All right, and if someone is ready to plan a trip, where can they go for more information?
Go to visitdenver.com. That's where you learn about everything that's happening, not just this summer, but all year round.
Tomeka Jones, thanks for joining me this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Did you know that sometimes even with medication, depression doesn't go away? It's called treatment-resistant depression, and it affects 1 in 3 people living with major depression. Today, we are joined by Dr. Lisa Harding, a psychiatrist who works with these patients, and Mark, who knows the struggle personally. They're here for Mental Health Month to help us understand what this looks like and how treatment is changing. Welcome you too.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Dr. Harding, what are some of the signs of depression and how common is it?
So, 21 million Americans are suffering right now with depression. About a third of those patients struggle with what we refer to as treatment-resistant depression. Treatment-resistant depression refers to any patient that has tried and not responded to 2 oral antidepressants at adequate dose and duration. The treatment of depression has changed over time, and I'm really lucky to have partnered with J&J on Spravato, which is FDA approved to treat treatment-resistant depression. The symptoms of depression are divided into 2, the major symptoms and the minor symptoms. The major symptoms, Abby, it's intuitive to us. And a low mood, the inability to participate in everyday life. The minor ones sometimes surprise most people. Depression can affect your sleep. Patients can suffer from insomnia. It can affect their appetite. They can gain weight with depression. It actually can even affect their ability to concentrate.
What does treatment-resistant depression mean?
It means that you have cycled through a couple of treatments and you haven't responded adequately. And the response in depression is something that's been up for debate for a long time. I used to be an ER physician before I became a psychiatrist. And if you came into the ER and had a gunshot wound and I said, hey, you're 60% better, I'll give you a high five, that would not fly anywhere in this world. So we see people that are well-dressed, have jobs, families, and look like they're functioning. But really delving in and having a conversation with the patient of are they enjoying life and are we treating them to remission?
Is there a treatment out there that can still help even when others haven't?
Yes, in 2019, the FDA approved Spravato. It is different. It is an intranasal spray that is delivered twice a week for 4 weeks, and then you and your physician determine what maintenance looks like. For safety reasons, it is a controlled substance, so it's done in office under the supervision of a clinician like myself. And it offers hope to patients. It actually can be used in conjunction with an oral antidepressant or without.
Mark, can you tell us your story? How has TRD affected your life?
Sure thing, Abby. First of all, thanks for giving me the opportunity to share my story, and thanks to Johnson & Johnson for the same. When I was diagnosed with depression almost 20 years ago, a decade and a half, I was in disbelief. So, but to your question, the way that depression has affected me is not only is there a depressed mood, which is in the name depression, but it deprived me of the ability to find joy in any activity, whether it was time with my friends and family, whether it was a hobby, sporting event, concert. I would still do those things, but I didn't enjoy them. I didn't look forward to things tomorrow. It made me go through life one day at a time, one step at a time, and it was wake up, get dressed, do my work, come home, and then do it all over again the next day. And it was a miserable way to live because I didn't have anything to look forward to.
What did it feel like when you found out your depression was harder to treat?
It was very discouraging. So I call it the snowball effect. I don't think I coined that term, but that's what I call it. So in the beginning, when I was first diagnosed, of course, I was prescribed an oral antidepressant. So in my mind, I see the commercials on TV, and the doctor tells me this will probably make me better. And so after a period of time when that drug had no effect on my depression, in some cases the versions I tried actually made things worse, it was extremely discouraging because here I am, a normal, healthy, middle-aged person that I should be able to take this medicine that helps millions of other people, and it's not helping me. So I feel like that there's something either wrong with my mentality, with the physical makeup of my body. It made me feel less than. So each time I tried a different drug and it didn't work, I felt worse. So, the snowball just kept getting bigger. And over that period of time, I tried 5 different oral antidepressants with no success.
What's your treatment like now, and is it working?
Yeah, so 2 years ago, my therapist informed me that there was an option for treatment-resistant depression, which was Spravato. She referred me to a clinic locally that I still attend. So I've been under the Spravato regimen for 2 years. And what Spravato did for me after the first week is it started to clarify the noises or the disorder in my brain, the intrusive thoughts, and just made me a more relaxed person for those reasons. As time passes on, I gradually just became better and better to the point where I started to enjoy things again. And I started noticing that I looked forward to spending time with my friends and family. I looked forward to my hobbies again. And it was just like, a ray of sunshine. It really allowed me to start living my life again rather than this poor depressed person that just went through the motions so that I could pay the bills.
What can people do if someone they love might be going through this?
Definitely. I think one of the hardest things is to not rely on our sixth sense around our family. If you think something's wrong, ask a question, ask an open-ended question. Give them, thoughtful reflections in a kind way. Hey, you look sad. Is something wrong? And then we can really think about reaching out to a clinician. A clinician is who diagnoses a patient with clinical depression and then further evaluates them for treatment-resistant depression.
Where can we learn more or get help?
I love these questions because in the age of Dr. Google, I think we have to look for reputable sources. So Spravato.com has all of the important safety information. On the website, there's information for clinicians, and then there's separate information in layman's terms for patients. There's also a portion of the website where you can put in your zip code to find a REMS certified treatment center that's near you.
Thank you, too, for joining me this morning.
Thank you for having us. We really appreciate your focus on mental health.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.
Taking care of someone you love isn't always easy, especially if it's hard to understand what they need. This happens more often than you'd think when hearing or speech becomes a challenge. Today, we are joined by Dr. Bernadette Mayfield-Clark and Dr. Tina McNamara from ASHA. They're here to talk about caregiver communication, what their new survey found, and how to make sure everyone's voice is heard. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Dr. Mayfield-Clark, why is clear communication so important when caring for someone?
Well, human communication is a human right. And when it goes well, it's well. But when it becomes a challenge, it creates all kinds of havoc for the caregiver and the care recipient. For the caregiver, it causes frustration when they're talking to the care recipient. And they assume that the care recipient understands what they're saying and hears what they're saying. On the other hand, the care recipient gets frustrated and their behavior results in social emotional outbursts and anger because they feel like their wants and needs are not being addressed because the caregiver didn't understand them. Now we have to look at whether or not the care recipient understands what was being said or did they hear what was being said. Those two areas then start to cause a breakdown. And with that breakdown, we have professionals, and those professionals are called speech language pathologist and audiologist. And you can find those professionals on our website at ASHA.org, or you can go to the Caregivers National Hotline at 211 to obtain additional resources, products, and services.
What did your new poll find out about caregivers and the challenges that they face?
Some of the challenges that they faced had to do with getting services for their recipients. For the children, the services are in the schools, but the child was acting out initially, having temper tantrums and emotional outbursts as the other care recipients did. And with the adults, it was difficulty in going to just regular doctor's appointments or just social isolation, where they were having difficulty wanting to be outside or be with people. So there was a lot of resistance there because of the communication barriers.
I think to add to Dr. Clark's comments,
one of the things that the poll also found was that caregivers have a lot of mental health concerns. About half of them reported a strain on their mental health from this. So, these services that are provided by professionals are very important. These caregivers felt that they needed support, and a lot of support that they received was from these professionals.
Dr. McNamara, if someone is having a hard time hearing, what should their loved ones do?
Hands down, seek an audiologist, seek a professional. Hearing is a little bit different than like if you're having vision problems. Hearing loss is very specific to each individual, and it's very specific to different pitch ranges. You can have good hearing in one pitch, and your hearing could be down in another pitch range. So it's very important that you receive a hearing test from a professional. And that you follow up with those recommendations, with those interventions. Hearing loss is one of the major health concerns in the United States. There's so many social emotional issues that are associated with hearing loss, depression, and all of that. It actually affects your physical overall well-being. So take that initial step. Find an audiologist in your area, get that hearing tested. And as Dr. Clark said, you can go on ASHA.org and you can go into your state and you can find a local professional. Also ask around, ask individuals in your area who have received good hearing health care, and find out who their providers were and contact those providers.
Where can people go to get more information or help?
Make sure they're going to our professional website. That's ASHA, ASHA.org, for the list of audiologists and speech language pathologists. And again, the Caregivers National Hotline, 211.
And very quickly, I also recommend if you're a friend or a neighbor and you know someone that's a caregiver, reach out to them. Sometimes they just need a little help connecting with a professional, or just something as simple as helping them with a daily task, encouraging them, listening to them. Those kind of things can make a big difference.
Thank you two for joining us this morning.
Well, thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Do you ever feel like your last vacation could have used more champagne and less schedule? Or maybe you just need a break where date night starts at brunch and somehow doesn't end. Well, it turns out it's actually a thing. Celebrity Cruises is turning up the romance with their latest ship, and today we're getting a look at how couples can cruise into love without really lifting a finger. Joining us live from Bimini, Bahamas is Damian De Lorenzo, Celebrity Cruises Director of Entertainment Experience. Welcome to the show, Damian. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. Thanks for having me on today.
All right, so what are some of the dreamiest destinations couples are loving right now?
Absolutely. So I'm probably in one right now. I'm standing on board Celebrity Beyond, which is a destination within itself. It's one of our incredible Edge-class ships. And we are docked today in Bimini in the Bahamas, enjoying some stunning Caribbean weather. I'm looking at turquoise water, white sand beaches. But this being an incredible ship that moves about the world with grace, can visit so many incredible romantic destinations. Those would include places like Cozumel, Mexico, like St. Thomas, St. Martin, beautiful Grand Cayman, Puerto Plata, and the Dominican Republic. And these are just naming some of them, but all of these will be visited by our brand new ship, the Celebrity Xcel.
What sets this ship apart from some of the rest?
Yes, Celebrity Xcel is our brand new ship. It launches in November of this year, 2025, and it will be launching from Port Everglades, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, visiting these destinations I've just mentioned, and we are taking date night to the next level, in which you can enjoy date night all day long on board our ship with the most experiences available on any ship to date for our guests, including 32 food and beverage experiences with globally inspired cuisine, the largest footprint of entertainment and activities ever on board one of our Celebrity Cruises ships, as well as all the amazing wellness experiences featured on board.
And you've got this idea of date night all day long. What does that actually look like on board?
Well, one of the best features, and it's actually the reason I'm standing up here, because I'm up on the top of the ship with a stunning view, and we have a brand new restaurant concept which will debut on board Celebrity Xcel It is called Bora. It is a Mediterranean restaurant, which is a great opportunity to enjoy a dinner with the stunning views and atmosphere of the outdoor restaurant, but it will also feature our first brunch experience ever at Celebrity Cruises. Not only will we feature some elevated and fresh takes on Mediterranean cuisine, also some great live music and entertainment indicative of the region to accompany this boozy brunch, which features its very own customizable Bloody Mary bar.
What is your best tip for someone who wants to surprise their partner during a cruise?
I think the surprise comes in some of the great programming that we have, in which, you know, maybe when you're visiting destinations for the first time, it's time to experience something brand new. And we have so many unique and curated programs on board for our guests to participate, some great ship experiences in which our guests might be able to maybe do a Scotch tasting for the very first time, share a wine tasting together, a food and wine pairing, an immersive culinary class, which is hands-on, in which you can prepare regionally inspired cuisine, test out your skills in art with a beverage and art experience. There's so much to do on board that can sort of leave you experiencing something completely new and maybe take you by surprise.
And if someone's ready to book or just dreaming about it, where should they go?
For more information, the best way is to visit www.celebritycruises.com. That's our website, and you're going to find everything you'd need to know about our incredible ships, the incredible design of our ships, the destinations they sail to, and specifically all the information about our brand new ship, Celebrity Xcel, including a current program that we have called the Dream Makers, in which you, our guests, can weigh in on the experiences that you'd love to see on board and make little decisions which will weigh into what you'll experience when you book Celebrity Xcel for our inaugural season.
Thanks for joining us, Damian.
Ever feel like you're always on the go but never have the energy to keep up? This May is National Physical Fitness and Sports Month, and what we eat plays a huge role in how we feel. Joining us is Kelly Jones, a board-certified sports dietitian, to explain how potatoes, yes, potatoes, can power up your plate in a healthy way. Welcome, Kelly.
Thank you so much for having me, Abby. I am so excited to talk about potatoes. They're an all-star food that are affordable, they taste great, and they have nutrients that really can help us fuel our busy lifestyles.
I'll admit it, I was surprised to learn how healthy potatoes can be. What are some of the biggest misconceptions out there about spuds?
I'm sure everyone's heard some of these misconceptions, but first, that all carbs are the same, but they're not created equal. Some are much more nutrient dense than others. So for example, a medium-sized skin-on potato, which counts as a vegetable, mind you, is going to give you a good source of potassium, 30% of your daily recommendation for vitamin C, 2 grams of fiber, and 3 grams of protein. So we're not talking empty calories here. We're getting essential nutrients that really can help us feel our best. And along with this misconception comes with this idea that you can feel optimally energized each day without eating any carbs. And it's important to know that we think that, but we're reaching for caffeine as a stimulant and forgetting that food is really what should be fueling us. So we want people to know that carbohydrates are the preferred and primary source of energy for our bodies and for our brains. So whether you're headed for a run, chasing your kids around, have a busy work day or busy weekend day, having carbs keeps you energized and mentally sharp.
You're also sharing some simple recipes with us today. What are your go-to for a quick and healthy meal?
Yeah, so quick and easy is what I'm all about as a busy mom and business owner. So I want to take shortcuts, and I use frozen potatoes in the microwave to do that. So for the first recipe, think a hash brown bowl. So with this, you're getting breakfast for dinner vibes, which my kids always get excited about, but pop some frozen hash browns into the air fryer while you saute whatever veggies you have on hand. Pile it all into a bowl, and then you're gonna add easy protein. So eggs and black beans. It doesn't get more simple than that when you have those proteins on hand, and then add whatever flavor you want, maybe some color with cilantro. Let your kids build their own bowl so that they're happy with whatever they're putting on their favorite vegetable at the time. And then my other tip, like I mentioned, is the microwave. So you can use it for this turkey potato wrap. Microwave your potatoes while you've got turkey in a skillet. Finish the potatoes in that skillet, maybe add some other veggies, and then just add it all to a wrap with some cheese, a sauce that you like, and you've got minimal cleanup plus this easy, delicious meal that you could even take with you on the go. You can also freeze it in advance and then heat up when you've got a super busy week in just a couple of minutes.
And where can our viewers go to find these recipes and more info?
So potatogoodness.com/carbs will show you these recipes and more information.
Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Abby.
Did you know arthritis is the #1 cause of disability in the U.S.? This month is all about raising awareness and sharing real ways to ease that pain. Joining us is Dr. Steve Knopf, from the Joint Chiropractic with some helpful info and natural tips that can really make a difference. Welcome, Dr. Knopf.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Arthritis affects so many people. Can you explain some of the most common kinds and why they happen?
Well, there's actually over 100 different kinds of arthritis that exists out there today, but there's two that are really most common. The first is called osteoarthritis, and what that is where the joints degenerate over time, they wear down, really because of physical stress. That can be because of overuse, repetitive use, poor posture, injury. This is the kind of arthritis that I think a lot of people think about, especially with like athletes that are really hard on their bodies. The other kind of arthritis that's really very common is called rheumatoid arthritis. Now, the joints break down over time, roughly about the same, but the way that this happens is totally different. What happens in rheumatoid arthritis is the body is actually attacking our own joints, causing that degeneration over time. It's not physical stress. It's actually inflammation that causes that to happen.
And you say chiropractic care can help. How does that work for arthritis?
Chiropractic care definitely can help a lot of people that have arthritis. And the way that we look at it is we really want to improve the health of the joint. So one, we want to make sure that the joint is aligned properly, that it's not stuck out of place. And two, we want to make sure that it's moving the best that it can. When a joint is unstuck and it's moving the way that it should, that does a couple of things. One, in the long run, it can help prevent further destruction of the joint. It can handle more stress. You get a lot more out of the joint over your lifetime. The other thing that happens is when your joint is moving well is it acts like a pump, and it can pump out a lot of that inflammation and that gunk that we talked about, often helping people feel an immediate sense of relief.
And what's one thing someone watching today can start doing to feel better?
One thing that we always talk to our patients about is the importance of nutrition. I think we've all heard of inflammatory and anti-inflammatory foods that contain sugar or alcohol or processed foods that can really increase the body's inflammation and might make a lot of people, especially with rheumatoid arthritis, feel worse. So focus on the diet. That's one of the best things that you can do on your own.
And where can our viewers find more info or get connected with care?
For more information, we keep it easy. You can visit thejoint.com.
Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
And that's it for New Mexico Rising. I want to thank you for tuning in and checking out the show. If you actually want to be on the show, just email me. That's newmexicorising@gmail.com. We're on social media like Instagram and Facebook. You could also follow us on YouTube, so you can like, comment, subscribe. All that stuff they say on YouTube all the time helps us out too. And until next week, that was New Mexico Rising.
Oh, these cabanas for our Back to the Beach party are perfect. 9 friends hanging out in the cabana, watching the 69 boys doing Tootsie Roll, Here Kitty Kitty, Come On Ride the Train remix. The only thing better than that is DJ Way Funky in there. What's up with all the bananas?
Well, I was thinking we got Hannah's in cabanas giving bananas.
All they need to know is that May 31st here at Oasis Event Center, it's Back to the Beach 2 for the 90s dance party.
I ran out of Hannah's.